manifest, the only intermodal.
Intermodal.
Now you can take the UP like all the way to Denver, and then hop on the BNSF and take the BNSF. I mean, you can switch intermodal lines. There's a like a terminal cost transaction.
So this is a different rail than the manifest, or are they new? Is it a whole new rail system?
Different rail. It's totally different than the manifest. They share some lines throughout the U.S. where they'll actually pull over a manifest or a unit train. But they're when I say different, they are different lines because and all these are different stations.
So we would actually have to educate a lot of these people on the intermodal then.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the intermodal here only does intermodal. It's north of, where was it? North of town, right? By the Air Force Base?
By the base.
Yeah, right there by the
They only do intermodal.
I didn't know it was intermodal. No, dude. I seen it all the time. I was like,
Yeah.
Your manifest, you have
Typical
manifest
well-
lines that come in and out of here. You'll see the big
like,
trains coming
like
through.
right running parallel with the 15s.
Right, yeah, and you'll see them carrying. You got all these well cars. Those little cars that go deep, and they're just right off the track about a foot, and they'll be carrying 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 containers, or like 3. They can carry up to 3 containers.
so I wonder what's that one that goes by the airport?
That's a manifest line.
That is a manifest line.
There, because that's
That's
just
the
a
big
local.
boys.
No, that's just a local line.
Okay. So it's the big boys.
It's
It's
the
the
big
big
boys,
tankers that are on there.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So you'll never see big tankers and then little containers stacked on the same
Same train.
No,
locomotive, on the same locomotive.
no. I drove out to New Mexico here about a year ago, and good Lord, I mean, you could see just miles and miles and miles of trains with containers or just empty well cars on them. You know, and all I could just envision in my head was these white containers.
Now,
So these are all intermodal containers. I mean intermodal rail. See how there's well cars?
Yeah.
You've seen these.
Yes.
Where they're stacked too high.
yes, yes. And you said intermodal, you can stack too high, but manifest you cannot. Is that what I
Manifest you cannot.
Manifest you don't.
So these are all intermodal right here, and all you see are these standard 40-foot and 20-foot containers. That's the only thing they've ever put on there before. Now they can put ours on and stack them too high. You'll never see. You can find You'll never see a intermodal with hoppers.
And because they're the same ISO, they fit.
They're ISO certified,
Yeah.
and so this is
Fit
cool.
right on,
Locked down.
right on top of.
They drop in, lock them down.
So
Yeah.
if I go to manifest rail cars, okay, so if I go here and go to images, all you'll see are giant tankers and hopper cars. I don't know why we're not seeing any hopper cars. I just probably should have put that, but you'll just see tankers and hopper cars. Okay. Still don't know why. And then obviously huge loads like that will go on there.
pull up a hopper car if you could.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm like the rail hopper. Hopper car. These are all hopper cars.
Okay.
You see how they have the little
Yes.
teats down there, or whatever they're called? That's what I don't know why they remind me of that. I'm not a sick guy or anything. I didn't grow up on a farm, but yeah. So see how they have all the hatches down here? These are all huge hopper cars.
Sure.
And those are all hopper cars. So everything that goes in any one of those can go into ours. I mean,
So in other words, you're saying that there's just as much a need with the manifest as there is intermodal with the intermobile container. Is that what you're saying?
so their advantage is they move twice as slow. So people that don't care about their product getting there at any kind of time, okay, they cost a lot more to move it in that.
You have to fill that car.
And you have to have a
Somehow you
lot of
You
product.
gotta have a
That's 110 tons or 100 tons in that car. Let's say you only had 50 tons of product. You can't move it in that. I mean, you could, but you're only going to fill it half.
But you're gonna pay for the whole thing, and then when you get to the distant end, at the rail station, you gotta unload that car into super sacks, trucks, into something.
So that's exactly what I'm
so
saying.
it goes to the next
So
spot.
so
So
when
you
this
wouldn't
shows
use
up
an
at the rail,
intermobile
when this shows
container
up
on
at the
this
rail,
freight.
you got to
No.
unload that whole car.
No.
Okay.
No, the only way you can use an intermobile containers is on the intermodal.
Intermodal, okay.
Intermodal.
Okay. Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
so there's nowhere to put it on here.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I see that.
Cause it's all built into one.
Right, exactly.
There's nowhere to put ours. But when this shows up at its destination, you got to unload that whole thing into somewhere else.
Right, cause you can't store that anywhere.
There's nowhere to store it. It doesn't come off the rails or anything. Ours pulls up. You get a forklift or a crane. They put it on the ground. They say just come, and it's storage. Come pick it up whenever you can get it.
And they can stage 8 high.
And they can stage 8 high. And then you load it right on the back of a truck, and that truck takes off. You're not it's got to take 3 hours to unload one of these things.
And then the unloading process on that is a lot more difficult.
Conveyor,
Than
and you have product loss.
Right.
So this pulls up. They open these gates at the bottom. It's all gravity feed. They put a conveyor under there, and it gravity feeds on that conveyor, and it rolls up and goes into a big old wherever it's going.
wherever it's going.
Well, the whole time it's going up, it's dry goods, dust, rain. How about what if it's raining? You want to unload. What if you lose product loss? You have product degradation, and that has demurrage. Demurrage is when you can't unload it, and the rail starts charging you daily for every car you have because that locomotive is stuck while you're trying to unload
Yeah,
it.
if you got 10 of those, you got a couple million tons of that stuff, and you've got to start moving it, and you're not.
And what's happening is that at your facility, you're waiting on your buyer to come pick up what's currently there. Once they pick up what's currently there, then you can replace it. Well, if your buyer's late, doesn't pay, you're dependent on him, and now your next shipment came in, it's just going to sit there because your bins are waiting on your buyer.
So that's rail demurrage.
That's demurrage. And then that locomotive is going to start charging you daily for every car you have. Thousands of dollars. Tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. You sit there for a week. There have been times when the locomotives have said, we're not waiting, and left. And then you're not moving it until the locomotive comes back. That could be 10 days.
And you're still paying.
Every
You're
day.
still paying.
You're
Yeah,
on the
but
rail.
You got no way to move it. They pull you off to a side rail, dump you, and
Yeah, they do.
you're stuck there on Monday, and Tuesday you come by and say, okay, I'm ready for that, and they go, you'll get it next Friday because that's when we have time to do it.
And then when they unload that, in order to load something else in there, they got to clean it out. Then there's
Wash it out, clean it out, yeah.
And then there's a risk of contamination of your product with whatever.
There
was
is,
before then.
but lots of this dry bulk we're talking about is really not that contaminable.
No,
Especially if
it
you're going
isn't,
to put
but
it. If you're
if-
gonna
if-
load it. But
if
it's a
you
good
are,
point. It's a good
yeah.
point.
If
Yeah.
you're doing rare earth stuff, you don't want to contaminate that with anything else, and you're not going to get just a car that's just going to be saved for barite, for rare earth, for this, for that. It's going to be you're handling sand today, you're handling cement tomorrow. Simple as that. So
Yeah. So that's the difference. So it's very important to understand the difference with the rail yards. I mean, and that it's a huge play. If you want to stay domestically or around here, the way you're going to do it is through the rails. Show somebody how they can save money by using the rail.
And that's not the intent. I just wanted to know if there was.
It's a great intent, though. We haven't done it yet. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a great intent to hit the rail yards, to look at it that way.
Okay.
Who's moving in these things, and can they go intermodal, and would they like to? And who's trucking from here to New Jersey because they don't know that they can do intermodal. Maybe they don't move 100 tons a month. Maybe they only use 25 or 30 tons a month, but they still got to get it to the other side of the U.S. They've never had a play. They're like, well, we can't fill one of these big things up. I guess we got to truck it. Now you can say, well, you can just put a 25-ton or 35-ton container on the intermodal.
let's you want to take a walk out and take a look at that.
Yeah, I'm sure you
Yeah,
guys will
let's-
see.
let's
And
do it so
I
we
want to
can
continue on
see.
with the sales process approach for sure.
Okay.
Too sharp, Rick. I gotta get the office here real quick, and then I leased it out.
We can make it 40 if we wanted, but since it's intermodal means it's got to go on a truck somewhere. Somewhere it has to hit a truck.
Right.
You have a weight limit. So you do 40 foot, you're never going to be able to fill it up for a truck. Because you can't go straight from ship to intermodal rail. But then when the intermodal rail takes it to its final destination, it's stuck. It's got to go on a truck. So there's almost always has to be a truck involved. So they'll never take more than 20 foot.
So this is what, 8 foot?
It's 8'6", yeah.
And then the 9 foot, this is the one that holds 650 cubic square feet.
This one holds 525 cubic foot. We have one that holds 625 and we redesigned it. So this holds 525, and then our other one holds 725. I'd say.
So 725 is the highest.
Yeah, 700. But you got to remember, so 725 cubic feet. If you're taking something that has a 100 bulk density, that's 72,000 pounds. You can't take it on the road.
Right.
This is going to be so. But if you got something with a low bulk density that doesn't weigh a whole lot,
Like grain or.
yeah, and that stuff's got like a 60 bulk density. So 60 times 7, that's only 35,000 pounds. So you can take it anywhere.
So when this is sealed, let's say there's grain in there and this thing is sealed, it's airtight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to crawl up there? Anybody want to crawl up there? Crawl up that ladder. So, this is how this thing locks.
Rick, take my iPad once you get up there, Rick. Go ahead and get up there first. You're right. Here.
Okay, so this thing locks down. You may not mess around. It locks and it seals. All the way down. So you're not getting anything. It's very tiny.
So there's a rubber gasket all the way around, obviously.
It's just sealed.
Yep, here's the seal
Nothing
here.
can crawl in, nothing can leak in.
See this seal? Watch your hands. So you can see this rubber seal all the way through.
Wow.
That's a pressure relief valve. So if it goes too high, it won't explode. That will release all the air in here.
And then I seen the video where they were using the pneumatic unloading system somewhere for, I think, sand.
He showed us. We see that again later. Yeah.
So
They
if you
just
look
did
in
that.
here, you can see that 5-inch. There you go. That's now 5-inch. That's a 4-inch. Our new one's a 5-inch unloading down there. And this goes all the way through. It's not sealed off. It's still one entire piece. It's not sectioned off.
Are there gonna be ones that, or is it just never sectioned off? It's just.
Never sectioned off.
Okay.
Can't section it off because you'll lose your center of gravity.
Right.
So like if I filled this end up and it was sectioned off and this was light and I'm on a train and I make a turn, I'm gonna go fling right off.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I was like, is it sectioned off? Okay.
All right. Here, take this iPad so you can go down with 2 hands. Got it. Yeah, I didn't think you'd be afraid to get dirty and getting up here.
No, I'm afraid to get dirty. It's afraid to fall off.
And now the pneumatic charge.
Okay, so pneumatic piping
Yes.
is right here. So this would this is your outlet here. So you hook up, you come in here, you got a 20-foot hose, like a fire hose, just imagine like a fire hose. See if this has any pressure coming down. It's not.
you have the top open.
So this would pop off, you pop the hose in there, and then it's gonna blow like we saw. Remember we had that other container here? You had a hose that went straight from there and up into the other container. And then down here's where you can hook up to the PSI, to your air, to your blower. It's gonna be here.
And when you do that, all three, they unload all three at the same
One
time?
at a time.
One at a time.
So you're gonna unload your first hopper, okay, which is right here. You're gonna unload that. It's gonna empty, and once it empties, you'll shut it and unload the second, so all the air pushes it out, and then you'll unload the third, and then you'll come back and you'll do it all again. 1, 2, 3. You always do it twice. That'll clean it all. I mean, then it'll be crystal clear.
So when you gravity.
No gravity.
No, no. Okay.
Only pneumatic. So the reason that you cannot have a gravity feed on this system is, in order to gravity feed, like we couldn't even make it. Let's say